I guess I mean, you're welcome.
Here's your hosts of the MonsterCast, the Straight Edge Monster Jack and Ryan.
G1 Climax Night 1 and Night 2 started off. Ryan watched all of it or just Night 2?
Just Night 2. I didn't.
All right, so before you get started, I want to start on this one because I want to say who my biggest shocks out of the first two nights was, to me personally.
It's pretty obvious.
Well, I don't know. I might not even have the same ones. Obviously, Tai Chi defeating Ospreay was my top one. Kaito defeating Yoda was up there for me because Kaito's from a different promotion and Yoda, they're trying to build him up he came back and fucking went right against Sonata. So I thought that was kind of surprising to me. But I think I like it though, because if they want to try to make him a legitimate threat in this tournament in the G1, he is going to have to get some wins against some, higher level people. Kingston defeating Shingo was a surprise to me.
Kingston and Shingo.
Cobb defeating Naito was also my last one that was personally surprising. Because Naito, I feel like Naito usually starts those off hot and then dies off at the end. So that's why that one was shocking to me.
I agree. Yeah, that was I did not expect Kingston to beat Takagi. I definitely thought that he was going to come in and do like the beat all the lower guys, lose all the top guys type run, but coming in and beating Takagi.
And just kind of ended up being mid-tier or whatever, getting 11 points or whatever, and just not making it to the Final Four. But he had a quality outing type deal.
Yeah, and the Tai Chi one, I mean, at least it made sense in the context of the match. Like he was pretty much selling he was still selling the match from Forbidden Door, like throughout the match too. Like the commentary was selling it too. So it's interesting. It's interesting to have Tai Chi.
When you were watching it, was Kevin Kelly on the call?
I watched the Japanese version.
Okay, because he wasn't on Collision. That's why I was wondering. I just figured he was doing Night 2 or whatever.
Yeah. Actually, I heard people preferred him not being on Collision. So
I don't have a problem with him, but Ian Riccaboni did so good last night. It's not that I dislike Kevin Kelly. It's that Ian Riccaboni was fucking killing it last night.
Except for when he called it Ring of Honor.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
he did do that.
Haley's in the Judgment Day, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right, so besides those obvious outcomes, like who's impressed you the most so far through the first two nights? Because usually the way the G1 works is everybody comes out firing on all cylinders in the first few nights, right? And then it kind of goes into a lull in the middle, and you'll have a couple here and there that's like everybody's like, oh, you need to go out of your way to watch that. And then it's like the last fucking 3-4 nights is like fucking barn burner type deal all the way leading up to the tournament. So through the first couple nights, anybody stood out?
Once they know they don't have to try anymore,
Wouldn't it be funny if Gato doesn't tell you if you're gonna win until like later on, right? So then you start getting the night by night basis, like you go out there and like, oh, you're losing this one. You start paying attention to the standings, like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not going. I'm gonna fucking start phoning it in. Fuck this. I'm not gonna make it to the Final Four. Fuck this shit. That'd be so funny, dude.
That's why I should put Orange Cassidy in there. He loses a couple of his first ones, like, well, mathematically I can't win, so I think I'm just gonna take it easy. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many people in this one though that a lot of the matches I start watching, I'm like, man, I don't really give a shit about this. Like,
I've never been a huge fan of the champion being involved in the G1, but I get it because there's so many people in the G1 now. Like, who's he gonna fight on these nights? And people want to see the champion fight. So I understand it. It's just wish it wasn't that way. There's a lot of fucking matches you have to do though, so you might as well go ahead and put the champion in there too.
But there's a lot of people in it where I'm just like, I know you're not gonna win, so I don't really give a shit about this match.
Yeah, you feel like that in this year's for sure?
This year's specifically.
Yeah.
So like Shane Haste and Alex Coughlin, like I'll watch that match. None of y'all are winning the fucking G1. Or
Ren Narita and Shota went to a draw.
No, that was actually a good match though, and also they're actually up and coming in New Japan, so they probably won't win either, but they'll at least be competitive. Like Mikey Nichols and Aaron Hanare, like
yeah.
I know Hanare just kind of got like a visual repackage or whatever, but I'm watching that and I'm like, okay, Like whatever happens with matches, it's not consequential. Like who gives a shit?
Yeah,
And
it's
I feel
a
bad
filler
because
match for
they're
the
not
show.
bad wrestlers at all. Like they're good wrestlers. It's just, and the match was good too. It's just it takes some of the weight away from it when it's a round robin tournament and you know who's not going to be.
Isn't it kind of like the same way that I feel about the Royal Rumble when you're throwing tag teams in there? Like, bitch, you're not winning this. So TMDK's in there. Shane Haste and Nichols, like you just said. They're not winning. They're not winning this. It's the same way I feel about Royal Rumble when you throw out fucking the Disciples of Apocalypse in there. Like, y'all not winning? Y'all not winning this? What's the point?
Well,
Hey guys, did you like that video? If so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also catch full episodes of the MonsterCast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And you can also catch us live every Sunday on Twitch. All links in the description below, along with some sweet merch from yours truly, the MonsterCast. Deuces.